Hey everyone, welcome back to The Simple Creative. I'm your host Oladimeji Ajegbile, and this is a podcast for those brave enough to start up something from nothing. My guest on this episode is Adetomiwa Badewole. He's a brand strategist and a business developer who studied English in school and now is pushing against all odds to build his career as a professional.
My dad wanted me to study law and wanted me to go to OAU specifically.
Wow.
So
was that specific?
Yes, like OAU law. Ife law, like he used to call it.
Okay.
So, and I tried for like 3 years.
Okay.
And it wasn't working. But they were giving me other courses and it was like, you're not going. So unfortunately, when I did the last jump I did before I got the admission, he died.
Oh wow.
So then I didn't get law. So, but then I had the chance to go study whatever it was they gave me, and they gave me English and literary studies. So. And
with this, if you'd like to know more about The Simple Creative, just log on to dimeji.com/podcast and you'd get every detail you need about The Simple Creative. Thank you so much for listening and enjoy the podcast. So welcome to the podcast.
Thank you.
That voice. All right. Wait, have you ever been a voiceover artist sometime?
Partially, so.
Oh, so you do that?
Yes.
I think maybe you should probably consider that as an extra career or something. It's a feature, or maybe an on-air personality or something. You have the voice.
So maybe I'll add that to the portfolio.
Oh, okay, that'll be good. All right. So welcome to the podcast.
Thank you.
Can you introduce yourself okay, let's assume you are a project and then you want to give an elevator pitch about that project. Just tell us in like a minute about you and what you do.
Okay, my name is Adetomiwa Badewole, and a brand strategist and business developer, as I like to call it. So I help and teach people how to succeed in the digital space through branding and business development. All
right, that's awesome. So I had 3 things: strategist, branding, and development. So we'll probably use that as a focus for our discussion today.
Amazing.
All right. So what was your background? Like, what did you study? Where did you start from?
Amazing. I studied English and literary studies.
Wow. Like, how did that come about? Like, why did you go for that? Like, was it like a personal choice, or it was the common way we go to school because that was probably the only available option?
Yeah, my story is interesting, but yes, typical Nigerian.
Okay.
My dad wanted me to study law and wanted me to go to OAU specifically.
Wow.
So
was that specific?
Yes, like OAU law, Ife law, like he used to call it.
Okay.
So, and I tried for like 3 years.
Okay.
And it wasn't working. Well, they were giving me other courses and it was like, you're not going. So unfortunately, when I did the last jump I did before I got the admission, he died.
Oh wow.
So then I didn't get law. So, but then I had the chance to go study whatever it was they gave me, and they gave me English and literary studies. So I was just tired of staying at home, so I went to school.
All right. So what was the experience of school like for you?
Well, school was eye-opening.
All right.
School was where I discovered myself.
Okay.
School was where I found a community per se. And school was where I discovered that school is not everything. Because at the point of going to school, I was like, if I don't go to school, I will not succeed. And I figured that, okay, school is a platform, but not the platform.
Okay.
So I found myself, and around 300 level second semester, I discovered that, okay, I'm not going to do anything with English. So that was when the whole branding thing and business development started. Okay. So I was studying to become a brand strategist and business developer while I was in school.
Oh, wow.
But I was doing that online.
Okay.
So eventually I became really serious with it and I almost dropped out of school. But then I finished. So
that's good. That's good. So in a summary, school wasn't really a scam.
It wasn't really a scam because it helped me discover that school wasn't everything.
So like it opened you to possibilities of exploring more beyond the school. Yeah. So I heard from Gary Vee that school didn't really fail anybody, but people fail themselves and maybe sometimes entrepreneurs, because school is meant for people that need to work hard. Like that is what school teaches you. And for him, it works for him because he's a very hardworking person. But if you're the kind of person who wants to go all out for these things, if you don't really use school as a pedestal to stand upon and catch those things you need, then school has failed. Like you failed yourself in school. So I think I understand that. Like personally, I didn't do anything. Okay, well, I studied architecture. And that gave me a bigger opportunity to invest my time in design. But then I still realized that everything I learned wasn't really from school, even though school gave me the exposure.
Yeah,
But then taking in the extra work to really get myself out there was like personal work I had to do for myself. So yeah, I understand that. All right. So what's the most interesting thing you've discovered about your personal career now, which is being a strategist and a branding person?
The most interesting thing for me is the fact that everything it boils down to psychology.
Okay.
It boils down to understanding people,
Okay.
how they behave, and shaping whatever you do. It doesn't even have to be business.
Okay.
Like as long as you're going to relate with people, as long as you're going to do something that involves other people, understanding them is just the key to success. Once you, I can't remember who said it, but he said once you understand people, you can control them. Well, control not in the
conventional sense,
but at least you can get them to do
things you do, like whichever thing you want them to do.
Yes. Yeah.
So understanding people now, like did you take any particular trainings about that really gave you the understanding you have now?
Well, I went to a university.
Okay.
It was a free university, and that university is called YouTube.
Awesome. I love the way you put that. Yes, YouTube. YouTube is a massive place for you to learn.
Yeah.
Like I remember starting out as a designer, my school then was YouTube. I sit down, like I remember I used to do this nice plan for data, and I just sit down and watch YouTube videos just to give myself understanding. And there are some that I download them just to watch over and over again, and then
to squeeze it,
follow the steps that these people were making to actually get me there. So I think I understand that. Yeah, YouTube is massive. So okay, so that means there are some resources you've really used that has helped you a lot. Can you tell us some of them?
Well, people. Basically, I followed this lady, Yo Santosa.
Okay.
Yo Santosa is like one of the biggest persons in branding.
Okay.
She developed the Pinkberry brand.
Oh, okay. I know
and a couple of other
top brands.
And this man too, a Nigerian, Yokes.
Okay.
I
think I've heard of him.
Yeah. This is Yokes.
Yeah.
He developed Earpiece. So I kind of consumed the whole of those persons, everything they did to find myself and then create what I now call my own person. Yeah.
It's awesome. So like why is this so important for you, like to really invest so much in learning and discovering things? Because I've noticed that most people want to just achieve that or attain that place or that position without actually putting in the work to learn these things.
For me, I still think I'm not even out there yet. I'm still learning.
Okay.
Because I give myself a mandate that if I'm going to be in this space, then I have to be the best, or at least one of the authorities in that space to satisfy myself. So I feel like forever I'll continue learning.
So you sort of owe it to yourself to be myself. Very good.
Yes.
I think we all should get to that point where you're doing it because you want to be better, not because you want someone else to see it.
Definitely.
Just to really push yourself out there. All right. So I've tried to go a little bit into branding for a while, and it's a big world. Like it's very large, it's very vast. Like there's just so many things to look out for. And then for you, how did you narrow down your particular search for a niche or for a career when it comes to the entire branding world? Because it's very broad. Before we started this session, we're talking about how there is a lot in the digital world, marketing space and everything. So how did you narrow down your own focus?
For me, I feel like it's a calling.
Okay.
So it wasn't that hard to narrow things down. But then I've always wanted to know what happens behind the scenes.
Okay.
I've always wanted to be in charge of making things happen.
Okay.
So when I discovered it was business development at a point. But then I figured that branding actually does more.
So the conversation continues, and if you'd like to listen to the full conversation on any of your preferred podcast apps, the links are available in the description below. Also, if you'd like to find out more about today's guests, about their works and about their life, you can also find the links in the description below. Thank you so much for watching, and if you would consider subscribing to this YouTube channel, that would be really amazing. That would really help me. Thank you very much for the support, and I'll see you next Wednesday. Peace. Oh, we recorded. Oh yes, it's working. All right, good. Yeah, I'll see you next Wednesday.